So the reason that this week's column is about face washes is I've had lots of emails and inquiries on my Facebook group from women who prefer a facial wash, and obviously I'm such an advocate of a cream cleanser like this one. This is the one I use, a cream cleanser removed with a hot cloth. Lots of women have been in touch and said that they love face washes. They like to use a foaming cleanser in the shower and are not keen on using a cream cleanser like I am. And do I have anything against them? No, I absolutely don't. The important thing with cleansing is that you do it. The rest is a matter of preference. If you prefer to use a foaming face wash, use it. I don't think a foaming face wash removes makeup as well as a cleansing lotion, but by all means at night, if you want to follow up your hot cloth cleanse with a face wash, then that's certainly fine. And in the morning, a face wash would be sufficient because you haven't got any makeup on. That would be sufficient for a decent cleanse. So no, I don't have anything against them. It's just not my preference. However, I have been using them lots in the past few weeks because I've been writing the column on them, and I've recommended my favourite 6 below. The thing about face washes is they're on your face for so little time. The best thing to do is to choose one according to what you like in terms of the smell you like, the feel you like, how your skin feels afterwards. There are no hard and fast rules. For example, this one by Caudalie, it's quite a famous one, is a foam. It just comes out as a foam. You don't lather it up, it's ready to go. You may like that, or you may prefer a more sort of creamy wash that comes out a bit like a cream cleanser but just has some foaming agents in it. Or you may prefer like a full-on gel, like a sort of more of an old-fashioned looking face wash that just comes out. Will it ever come out? That just comes out as a gel. See, like almost like washing up liquid, except it smells so nice. It really is what you like, what turns you on. Whichever finish you go for, there won't be a great deal of difference. In general, something creamy like this by Chantecaille might feel more comfortable on dry skin just because it feels creamier and more emollient, and a gel might be more comfortable on greasy skin just because it feels cleaner and fresher, but really it's on your skin for so little time, I wouldn't worry about it. It's more important that you think about ingredients. If you are somebody who suffers from lots of blocked pores, blackheads, spots and so on, you may find that a cleanser containing acids, AHAs, so alpha hydroxy acids in other words, helps because it will slough off the dead skin and remove the kind of debris that clogs up your pores, and you may find that very useful. People with very dry, sensitive skin are best avoiding acids where they can, except for things like hyaluronic acid, but acids that exfoliate, you're best off avoiding those if you have very sensitive skin because they're likely to aggravate. And whatever type of skin you have, if you are using acids, a cleanser with acids, please make sure you follow up with sunscreen just because acids make you more susceptible to sun damage. It's beneficial though they are in other ways. If you are somebody with very dry, sensitive skin, you might want to go for a cleanser with sort of soothing ingredients in, like rose. So this one by Chantecaille has rice and geranium and some rose water in it, which is really nice and soothing. You may want to go for, as I say, a thicker consistency with things like glycerin in, which just feel nice and slippy and soft and comforting on the skin. If you're someone with very oily skin, you might like to go with something with citrus oils in it that have a mildly astringent effect. So something with lemon juice in or grapefruit juice and so on. The thing that makes foaming cleansers foam is very often an ingredient called sodium lauryl sulfate. And sodium lauryl sulfate is just a foaming agent. Really interesting about foaming, I think, in that a foam doesn't clean your skin any better than a non-foaming product. Just like a foaming shampoo doesn't wash your hair any better than a non-foaming shampoo. But time and time again, brands find that consumers like foam. They prefer more bubbles, they prefer more foam. It gives people the feeling of being cleaner, even though it isn't scientifically the case. So lots of cleansers will contain sodium lauryl sulfate just to create that foamy feeling that people like so much. It doesn't mean that the more a cleanser foams, the better it is at all. So again, you're going with your preference there. Sodium lauryl sulfate is in a big industrial ingredient though, that is believed to have harmful effects on the environment. So if that's something that you're very conscientious about, I would avoid that ingredient and go for something more natural. No organic product, for example, would have sodium lauryl sulfate in it, so you could go that route. So brands like Neal's Yard and so on. And Jalique. Jalique is a lovely brand. They do a cleanser which is a balancing foaming cleanser, which quite a few brands have tapped into in recent years, i.e. a cleanser that keeps dry patches comfortable, but just controls some of the oil in oily patches. So that makes a balancing cleanser an ideal type of cleanser for combination skin. When it comes to your technique, I mean, you just do it in the shower. I mean, it's mad for me to even tell you how to do it. We all know how to do it. Wet hands, some cleanser on the skin. Rub your hands together to create whatever foam you're going to get. So Jalique doesn't have sodium lauryl sulfate in, so it's quite a low foaming product. Over wet skin, massage it in, then let the shower wash it off, or splash water on your face. There is no substance whatsoever, in my opinion, to the old wives' tale of finishing with a cold rinse at the end of your wash. I think it's a load of nonsense. The idea is that it closes your pores. It will tighten your pores, but very temporarily. And also I think that then kind of doesn't make your skincare products afterwards absorb quite so well. So I'm not a big believer in the old cold rinse thing. When it's on, you can either massage it in and rinse it off, or you can use something like a Clarisonic, which has become extremely popular in recent years, or you can use a buffing cloth. Now, a Clarisonic, I think, works so much better with a foaming cleanser than with a cream cleanser. It just gives it a bit more traction, a bit more slip around the face. So in that case, I would dip my Clarisonic, and do dip my Clarisonic in water, and then I put a little cleanser. You can put cleanser on the face, then use a Clarisonic, but I always like to put it in the Clarisonic. I rub it into the brush head, and then this is going to be a bit noisy. You buff it into your skin. And it beeps every so often to tell you to move from either top to bottom or left to right, and then it switches itself off. And what that does is it just removes all the debris, works all the dirt away from your skin, and gives your face a massage at the same time. They're brilliant things. They're super expensive. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy one, but if you have one, that's how you would use it. I use it mainly for body brushing, actually, but they really do come into their own with face washes. I don't think they work quite so well with a cream cleanser, which is my preference. So that's about it for face washes. I actually really enjoyed using them for this column. I really enjoyed revisiting them because I had sort of forgotten about them, because my preference is the cream cleanser, and actually they've come on so much. There are some really great ingredients in them now. They're much gentler on the skin. Yes, I do have a monogrammed flannel. I'm not mental. A brand sent it to me because they know I'm a flannel fancier. But they've come on so far. They have loads of great ingredients in them now, many of them left on the skin after you've rinsed, which is great. But the idea is, it really, really is down to preference. The idea is at the end, your skin feels comfortable. It's not gagging for serum or moisturiser. It's not desperately thirsty. It feels comfortable on its own, and only then will you know you've got the right one. I'll be around in the comments section if you have any questions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.